Hello friends, welcome back to lecture 2. I am Dr. Milind Meshram, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry KTHM College, Nashik. So in last lecture we have seen the very important terms uh, you that are being used in the retrosynthetic analysis. Just I want them to revise it. So last time we have seen the retrosynthetic analysis. This is retrosynthetic analysis is nothing but the planning or technique of the planning the organic synthesis backward. So this synthesis starts with the target molecules and end up with the starting materials. Then we have seen the target molecules. Target molecule is the desired final product that is to be synthesized. So we need to consider is a final product. Then we have seen disconnection. This is the mentally breaking of the bond present in the target molecules to give us starting materials. Then synthons. Synthons are the idealized fragments that are, you can say, the idealized reagents. So actually synthons are the charge fragments, charge species having the positive and negative charge on it. Then we have seen FGI. FGI, functional group interconversion, here in which we can convert one functional group to another functional group. This is very important. In some time in target molecules, sometime you have a functional group, there you cannot have the reliable reaction after disconnections. So there we need to do the functional group interconversion so as to have the suitable disconnection. So we need to do functional group interconversion to facilitate the appropriate disconnection to give a starting material. Then we have seen chemical equivalents. These are the real reagents. So these synthons, we know the charge fragments, so it will directly correspond to chemical equivalents. So these are the real reagents that are being used in the forward synthesis. So beside this, the important terms that are being used in retrosynthetic analysis, there are very important guidelines that are also useful in the retrosynthetic analysis. So first of all, we will see the guideline 1, that is very important. So that is disconnection must correspond to known reliable reaction. So for example, if you consider these amyl folate molecules, this is the target molecules. Here first of all, when you spotted these molecules, so you can see here amide bond. So when first time chemist made this molecule, they choose to prepare it from a very standard known procedure which involves the acid chloride and amine. So when you cleave this CN bond amide bond, so you will get the corresponding acid chloride and amine. So they knew that it's a standard way of making an amide and a good possibility of success of the reaction. Then they chose to disconnect to a reliable reaction. So basically, your disconnection must correspond to the known and reliable reactions. So then diaminoxide. This target molecule is having amide bond in the in its structure. So this is the agrochemical use, this diaminoxide. When you disconnect the CN amide bond, so you will get the acid chloride and methyl dimethyl hydrazine. But in this case, using the acid chloride is a problem because it is unstable and it can be cyclized to generate a corresponding anhydride. Actually, this is not a problem. Instead, using a anhydride, it is very useful and it would be more reliable. So when you disconnect this CN bond amide, so you will have the corresponding anhydride plus dimethyl hydrazine. So on the other hand, if you consider this paracetamol, the target molecules, so you have here also amide bond, so it will cleave to corresponding idealized fragment, that is we call them as synthons. So when you cleave this nitrogen will bear a negative charge and this carbon will bear the positive charge. And we know these negative charge synthons, it will correspond to this para-aminophenol. This is the chemical equivalence. So and these COMe positive, so this corresponds to either its anhydride or acid chloride. In this case, if you use acid chloride in the synthesis of paracetamol, so you will get the acid in the reaction, HCl. So when you use acetic anhydride, so you will get the acetic acid, and handling of this acetic acid is better than the handling of the generated acid in the reaction. So commercially this paracetamol is made from the para-aminophenol and acetic anhydride. So now we will see the retrosynthetic analysis for 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. So here when you spot these molecules, so you will have the ether linkage in this target molecule. So we need to cleave the CO ether to get the synthons. So one will have the alkoxide ion and other will have this cation. So we know the ether can be prepared by using alkoxide and these synthons. Okay, this alkoxide correspond to this phenol and this synthon is correspond to various these acetic acid derivatives. So here we can use Cl, Br or tosylate. So when you synthesize these molecules, so you can take it phenol and treat with NaOH in the, so it will abstract this proton, and this is the nothing but the substitution reaction. So this is the real reaction. So when you treat with phenol, when you treat this phenol with NaOH in the presence of chloroacetic acid, so you will end up with this ether as a target molecules. Now we will see the retrosynthetic analysis for these ether molecules. So as I said before, disconnection must correspond to known and reliable reaction. If you disconnect this bond, this aryl and oxygen, this bond, so you will end up with this phenyl cation and this these synthons. So this is actually is not a reliable reaction. So we must use the reliable reaction and known reactions. So no reliable reaction corresponding to nucleophilic attack of alcohol. So basically this correspond to its alcohol, and this will have Cl or any halide over here. So no reliable reaction corresponding to nucleophilic attack of this alcohol on this unactivated aromatic ring. So now move to the guideline 2. If target molecule consisting of two parts joined by a heteroatom, disconnect next to the heteroatom. These guidelines is for the functional group where the heteroatoms such as nitrogen, oxygen and sulfur are present. For example, acetal, ether, ester, amine, amide, sulfide, etc. So when you consider the retrosynthetic analysis for these sulfur-based compound target molecules, so as I told you, if the target molecules joined by two parts containing heteroatom, for example nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, here sulfur is there, so we will cleave this bond as a CS sulfide bond. So you will end up with these synthons. So sulfur will have negative charge and this methyl will be a positive charge. So these synthons are, as I said before, idealized fragments or idealized reagents. So this converts into this thiol and this is benzyl chloride. So these functionalities can be by using a substitution reaction. This is nothing but the substitution reaction. A disconnection next to the sulfur atom can be made using guideline 2. So here in this compound there is a presence of sulfur, so we need to cleave this bond next to the heteroatom. So this guideline 2 will help in this regard. Then this connection should be on the alkyl and not on the aryl side using guideline 1. So as I mentioned before, guideline 1 tells the disconnection must be correspond to known reliable reactions. So if you disconnect this bond over here, suppose here, so you will end up with the unreliable reactions. So that we need to avoid it. The synthesis is very simple. As I mentioned before, this is the substitution reaction. So this thiol will react with this benzyl chloride in the presence of sodium ethoxide and ethanol. It will gives you the sulfide as a target molecules. So the ethyl ester, a precursor to tabane, a drug used in the lowering the blood lipid level. So we will see the retrosynthetic analysis for these molecules. So in this case we have two functionalities. One is ester and next one is the amine. So guideline 2, as I said, so if two molecules are joined by the heteroatom, so disconnection should be next to the hetero. Here we have nitrogen, so disconnection next to the nitrogen atom. So we will have the CN amine disconnection, so we will get this alkyl halide which is easily accessible and then this amine. Okay, so now we'll have this ester, so we need to find out how this ester made. So ester is can be made from the from its corresponding acid. So we have the this is the best disconnection, that is CO ester. So you will have this amino benzoic acid plus ethanol. So synthesis. So we have the readily available starting material here, amino acid, amino benzoic acid, and this alkyl halide. Okay. So in the first step, we need to esterify this carboxylic group. So when you treat with ethanol in the presence of mineral acid, it will give ester, corresponding ester. And in second step, when you treat with alkyl halide, you will get the target molecules. Okay. In next lecture, we will see the problems based on the retrosynthetic analysis. Thank you.